Based on what I got, it's hard to think that he don't hear me. Hitting like that 30 on my jersey, man, I'm gifted. Whole lot of sixes, but I'm still like, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. 6-point star, Lion of the Judah.
What's going on, YouTube? Tyler James here, and I'm back. It's been a while since I've released a mock draft, since last year, to be honest with you, and finally got my 1.0 ready to go. The draft is sneaking up on us, but I'm hoping to have at least two more, maybe do a 2.0 and a 3.0. I'll definitely do my best. Tell me in the comments section if you do want to see another draft or maybe a power rankings like I did last year. Check the recent videos on the channel and be sure to subscribe. Still giving away some gear once we hit 1K subscribers, which is right around the corner. But with that said, let's get into it. With the first pick in the NBA draft, 2018 NBA draft, the Phoenix Suns select DeAndre Ayton out of Arizona. When the lottery first dropped, I was seeing everybody pick Luka Doncic as that #1 pick. He is seen as a phenom, the next best thing from the European leagues. I'll explain a little bit more why I'm not as sold on him as everybody else. I'm just kind of skeptical. I know for every, 5 Darko Milicics, you get Dirk Nowitzki once in a while, but I am a little hesitant. So let's get back to Ayton. He is my #1 pick for a few reasons. The fit, I don't know about Booker and Luka. I think Luka could play with anybody, but Ayton is that elite big man that not too many people want to pass on, even if the league is kind of going from, not more back to the basket big men, but guys who can shoot the three. He's just too good to pass up, and if the Suns have it their way, at least the Suns players, it sounds like they went to his training camp, to his workout with the Suns. Booker was there, some other Suns players, and by the sounds of it, that's who they want. Ayton obviously wants to be the #1 pick. He's an Arizona guy with those Arizona ties. He even said he thinks him and Booker could be the next Kobe and Shaq. Some good marketing, some good sales right there. So with all that said, I really do think he's the best pick for the Suns. Next up, we got the Sacramento Kings, and they have quite a bit of young big men. With that #2 pick, they actually jumped, I think, from the 7th to the 2nd pick. So lucky them. Ayton off the board. I see them going Luka here. Some people have Luka dropping right now, and if you talk him up as much as everybody else has been, I don't see how you can pass on him if you're the Suns. He fits in because De'Aaron Fox may be your primary ball handler. That may cause a little trouble, but he fits in because he can play the 2 or the 3, Luka that is, and he'll just demand the ball a little bit. And plus, he's a home run swing for them. He really is. I don't know how the fit will be because he's ball dominant, but he's said to be the best European player ever, the best prospect ever. So if you're going to take a risk on him, you're not going to look like a fool if you swing and miss, but I do think they should look elsewhere. However, Luka is the pick here for the Kings, unless he tries to say, hey, I don't want to be a Sacramento King, so don't draft me, because there are those crazy rumors that he could stay overseas, but I don't see him passing up on the draft, so we'll see how it plays out. What's an NBA mock draft with a little bit of a trade prediction, going out on a limb here, and maybe it's just a Celtics fan in me, but recently Danny Ainge was rumored to like Mo Bamba, one of my personal favorite players in the draft just because of his character. I thought Danny would gravitate towards someone like him, and they are just rumors. They could be smoke screens, but as of right now, if he is looking to get into this draft, I can see a trade with the Atlanta Hawks. Now, let's say the Atlanta Hawks do get rid of Dennis Schroeder because he wants out. That leaves a point guard position open, and why not get one of the best potential young and up-and-coming point guards in this league, and Terry Rozier, if Boston will let him go. His contract is friendly because it's restricted. However, if you can give Rozier even maybe that Kings pick, and then maybe if you have to, the late first round for the Celtics this year, all to get Mo Bamba in the Mavs or somebody up in the draft like the Hawks will accept it, in this case the Hawks, I think both teams should really consider it. Al Horford is one of the older guys. He's going to be here for this championship run for the Celtics the next couple of years. But when you set up Tatum, Brown, and now a future big man in Bamba, it makes sense to get rid of Rozier, get something for him, unless you really think you can re-sign him, and get the guy you supposedly like in this draft, and I like a lot, just in general, mostly because of character, like I said, but you can't deny that wingspan and overall talent. A little bit worried about his offensive game, how it will translate. That worries me a little bit with the way the NBA is going. But if you're the Celtics, get something for Rozier, get into this draft that's better than next year's draft, if you ask me, and draft Mo Bamba. If the Hawks did keep their pick, I'd see them going Jaren Jackson or Marvin Bagley Jr., but let's say the trade goes through. The number 4 pick, the Memphis Grizzlies, with Mo Bamba off the block. I'm not really sure that's their guy anyways. I see them going Bagley Jr. here or Jaren Jackson, but I'm going Bagley Jr. I think he's more of a home run, a 20-10 potential guy in the NBA, and if they do plan to have someone like Marc Gasol and Conley there next year, they could make a run with this guy at the 4 or coming off the bench and playing some serious minutes. Bagley Jr. at one point this year was the number 1 pick. That changed very quickly, but like I said, he could be a 20-10 guy in the NBA, and it sounds like a perfect fit for the Grizzlies at number 4. That brings us to the number 5 pick, Dallas Mavericks. They kind of lost out in this whole lottery a little bit. Should have been a little higher. Who do they put beside Dennis Smith Jr.? If he's really the future, you can't really go for someone like Trae Young or anybody like that here. You got to build around him, and that's why I think they wouldn't really trade with the Celtics, because as good as Terry Rozier is, I think all their cards are in with Dennis Smith Jr., so the Rozier to the Mavericks would make more sense because Bamba could go 5. However, the Mavericks stand pat here. If Jaren Jackson and Marvin Bagley Jr. are off the board, I see them going Mo Bamba, a Texas guy. But with this trade scenario we have, why not grab Jaren Jackson? A lot of people compare him to the next Kevin Garnett, maybe without that motor. No one really has that KG motor, but he blocks shots, athletic as crazy. The offensive needs a little work, but some people say he could be the best player in this draft, and at number 4 or number 5 for the Mavericks, I see him as a great pick, alongside Dennis Smith Jr. and the rest of that future team. With the number 6 pick, the Orlando Magic, let's not lie to each other, they need a point guard in a not very heavy point guard draft. You can have someone like Colin Sexton, who is really rising on many people's boards. He's a bulldog. He seems NBA ready to go. You could go Wendell Carter here if you really don't want to take a home run swing on that point guard. You really could go for somebody like him. However, Trae Young is the pick. He was compared to Steph Curry. No one wants to miss out on that next Steph Curry, just like with Doncic. No one wants to miss out on that next Dirk Nowitzki. So go Trae Young here if you're the Magic. Swing for the fences a little bit, and hopefully everybody needs a three-point shooter in the NBA these days. Let's be honest, that's how the NBA is. So at the very least, you're going to get a guy that can come off the bench and hit some threes for you. At best, you're going to get somebody closer to Steph Curry. Hopefully, at least that's what they're thinking and hoping. But three-point shooting is something, no matter what, you'll need that eventually. So he's not as risky as some people may think, but this high, I can see the risk. However, I think you take him if you're the Magic. The Chicago Bulls dropped down in the lottery a little bit more than they had hoped, like a lot of teams do. However, this would be the ideal pick for them. I don't see Michael Porter Jr. falling this late, if I had got to be honest. In this draft, I have him falling. A lot will depend on who he gives his records to. He probably shouldn't have came back. I give him all the credit because he came back. He wanted to play in the tournament for his team, but it gave those scouts and people a bad image of this kid, and they had a much better image because he was a potential number 1 pick earlier on in the year. But Chicago would love it if he fell to them right here. This would make not being up in the lottery that much better. They get the guy that they want. I compare him to Jason Tatum. I think he's very smooth, much like Tatum, and could be one of the better players in this draft. Most likely a team will move up to get him. However, if he falls here to the Bulls, they would be ecstatic. With the number 8 pick, the Cleveland Cavaliers were hoping that Nets pick. They are at number 8. Still some good players here. A lot of different ways they can go. Wendell Carter Jr., Mikal Bridges, Miles Bridges, but I see them going with Colin Sexton. It was the first guy they worked out right after the NBA Finals were over. Don't read too much into that, but it should say something. Sexton is a point guard, could help that primary role. A lot will depend on what LeBron James does, but stay or go, Sexton is still somebody you can pair next to him. Definitely like this Colin Sexton pick right here for the Cavaliers. He's a bulldog, and I think will be one of the better point guards in this draft for sure. At number 9 for the New York Knicks, another team that could go a bunch of different ways. They need some wings, but that's for the future. They really need a lot of things with KP out, Porzingis being hurt. Hardaway can play that small forward role, so I think you go best player available, and if you're not going to go one of the Bridges brothers, Wendell Carter Jr., he's getting those comparisons to Al Horford, and I really do like those comparisons. I think he's going to be one of the better big men in this draft. Not super flashy, but put him next to Porzingis in the future, and I really like that duo for the big men. There's a really good chance they will go Bridges, one of the Bridges brothers, as people are calling them. But even though you really do need a wing if you're New York, you're not winning anytime soon, so go best player available, somebody you can see more long-term as a better fit. On to the 10th and final pick of this mock draft 1.0, the Philadelphia 76ers. Could go a lot of different directions. Big man if Wendell Carter's there, I could see that, but I'm really thinking one of the Bridges brothers, and if you got the choice between the two of them, go Mikal Bridges. The dude is a poster child for 3-and-D in the NBA. He's going to be a guy who can hit a shot, but also defend on the wing, and that's something the Sixers really could use. If anything was proved during, their playoff run, is they could use an extra wing to go to, whether it's on the scoring end or the defensive end, especially with today's NBA, how wings are so important. He's a Villanova guy. Mikal Bridges just seems like the perfect fit here if he is available for the 76ers, so why not bring him home? Alright guys, that is it. Mock Draft 1.0 in the books. Hopefully going to have 2.0 very soon. Want to get a couple in before the draft, but that's sneaking up on us very quickly. If you do want to see more of these, comment below and subscribe. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, going to give away some gear from either CelticsSocial.com or RMCapparel.com if you're an NBA fan. So subscribe, like the video, and comment who you would pick with these top 10 picks. I'd really like to hear if you agree with the comparisons or who you'd pick for each team. So let's hear it, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.